stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
Dear family and friends of Holy Name of Mary Parish,
we thank you for celebrating Christmas with us.
Queridos familiares y amigos de la Parroquia del Santo Nombre de María, gracias por celebrar la Navidad con nosotros. La Navidad de 2020 es una que nunca podremos haber esperado, pero en la fe nos apoyamos mutuamente.
The Christmas of 2020 is one we could have never expected.
But in faith, we support each other in the Christmas that is.
Christmas is a celebration of God's entrance into humanity in radically new ways.
God made a definite decision to offer salvation to all people, and God became one of us to prove it.
God works actively through the words we use and examples we show.
We ask us all to offer special prayers for particular people who have given so generously of themselves during this pandemic. For example,
for grocery store cashiers and stockers who served us during our panic buying.
For firefighters who protected us from the deadly wildfires.
For law enforcement officers who attempted to keep us safe while ensuring people's rights to march in self-expression.
For healthcare workers in hospitals and nursing facilities who cared for some of our sickest neighbors and who continue to do so.
For election officials who ensured that the record numbers of voters this year would have their ballot voices heard and counted fairly.
For educators who adapted themselves to teach our children and to care for our youngsters.
For parents who were stretched in the love and care for their children who were at home more often than they had planned.
For those whose jobs were reduced or eliminated because the pandemic changed so much in our economy so quickly.
For all those who have died, especially from COVID-19, and for the families who have faced difficulties in their mourning because funeral rituals have been disrupted.
The grace of God has been alive and active in our parish.
This pandemic has not shattered our spirit. We have witnessed God's grace on various occasions this past year.
And I have felt it personally through your loving support of me as I gave my parents into God's eternal loving care.
We'd like to offer a special word of gratitude for all of the volunteers who have acted as amazing stewards during this pandemic time.
Without your willingness to support us with our liturgies and celebrations in this unusual time in our lives,
could not have served our families in the powerful ways we have.
For all of you who have been good stewards of your time at home, we lovingly thank you for obeying God's presence in your lives.
You might not have felt comfort returning to Mass yet,
but you are caring deeply for your families, some of whom may have compromised health.
Your dedication and sacrifice inspire all of us to obey our God with all our hearts.
And for all of you who believe in the mission of the Holy Name of Mary Parish and School.
Without your constant, undying conviction and generous financial donations, affirming that what we do here at Holy Name of Mary is God's work.
We could not have been as successful as we have been in putting life of Christ into action with our gifts.
On behalf of Holy Name of Mary's Parish and School staffs, we ask God's blessing upon you and those you love.
And those you don't love.
During this Christmas season,
while the pandemic may not allow us to gather with all of the family and friends we might like.
In faith, we can appreciate their presence and love in our lives.
Que seamos renovados en nuestra gratitud por la vida de Dios en nosotros. Ayúdanos a servir como la presencia de Dios los unos a los otros, recordando que Jesucristo es nuestro verdadero refugio en la tormenta.
May we be renewed in our gratitude for God's life in us,
helping us to serve as God's presence to one another.